Hello class, so today we're talking about work breakdown structures. So why is the WBS such an integral part of the overall project? So the WBS is incredibly important because it details every single process or task involved in the life cycle of a project. So Clark and Luttrell write, the WBS is intended to completely define everything in the program. A WBS displays and defines the products to be developed or produced and relates the elements of work to be accomplished to each other and the end product. So changes to the WBS usually occur when the scope is altered, right? So if the scope expands, then the tasks needed to satisfy that scope change will increase and lead to a change in the WBS. Changes can also occur when an employee leaves voluntarily or involuntarily. So an employee may not be a right fit for the task assigned to them, and which will inevitably lead to WBS modifications. So typically the project manager is the one who authorizes modifications to the WBS, but if external and internal stakeholders are consulted, then their level of influence may lead to modifications in the WBS, usually through scope change or scope creep. So the key components of the WBS are first and foremost the end product, right? The end task that the team was hired to complete. In addition to that is also the tasks and subtasks in order to reach that end goal, the individuals responsible for completing the tasks, the timelines of when the tasks are going to be completed, and project milestones. So determining the high-level tasks of the WBS usually starts with a top-down perspective. So at the apex of that structure is what the team was hired to complete, right? For example, if the team was hired to build a school, then at the top would be build a school. And then within that school, there's going to need to be rooms. And in those rooms, there's going to be walls. And in those walls, there's going to be furniture for students to sit on. And the project manager is responsible for defining each one of those tasks and assigning necessary employees to complete those tasks. So why are past projects helpful? Past projects are incredibly helpful because historical data is, in my opinion, absolutely important for structuring future projects. First and foremost, it utilizes a very critical part of a project or a project manager, which is to close a project and then analyze what the team and yourself did well and what they did wrong, right? So we can learn from past mistakes. And then also, in addition to this, leveraging past projects is incredibly important to help a PM with resource allocation, right? So if in a past project, a couple of critical employees were leveraged for data analysis, then the PM may rely on that historical data to leverage them for future data analysis tasks in the upcoming project. So yeah, that is a very top-down perspective of the WBS. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something. All right, bye.